Hello guys, I am back with another video and today we'll talk about what if Deku had a symbiote. So in the last video, Deku, Izuku started going to class as he starts going to his heroes class, where Izuku saw All Might again. So, Izuku was playing as the hero because, he's the protagonist, so yeah. So, Izuku showed off his, so-called hero costume to everybody as he defeats Bakugo and Melissa pretty easily. So, when Izuku started going home, it was the weekend. So Izuku decides to get more groceries for more food. So, when Izuku saw well Melissa and Jiro together, so Izuku was forced to have some fun with them. So yeah. So after that, Izuku showed them his house. But after they started leaving, Jiro she hugged Izuku, but it was taking too long. So she told I meant she told Izuku to hug her. So yeah, Izuku hugged her as she kissed Izuku as she started leaving. So yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. So when everybody is in the classroom, Izuku's basically there, basically waiting for Aizawa. As Aizawa basically arrives as he says, "So we're gonna be going to the USJ today." Izuku says, "The USJ? You mean that so-called hero joint where everybody trains?" As he says, "Yes." Wait for a second, guys. So Aizawa says, "Alright, everybody start going out. Because, we're gonna be going to the USJ immediately." So, yeah, so everybody gets out of the classroom as they start going into, the bus. Izuku sits in the back because, he prefers to be alone. As Bakugo's basically sitting in the front. So, Izuku's basically, using his cell phone as Sue basically asks everybody, what are their, quirks until it's Izuku's turn. As Izuku says, "It's none of your goddamn business." As she says, "Rude." As Izuku says, "I prefer not to talk about my quirk. And besides, what if a person here is actually a villain and just being a spy for UA?" As they say, what? That's impossible. As Zuko says, "Really? Trust me. I heard of some people, or at least some schools, apparently getting their, information leaked by some, fake heroes." As everybody's looking at each other, as as Sue says, let's just talk something else instead, Kero." So yeah, everybody stays quiet. So when they made it to the USJ, they see 13. 13 basically explains what is the USJ, which is a training joint for expiring heroes. So she basically explains how quirks can be used for good or for evil depending on your well your preferences. Even quirks can influence your personality, like for example a blood quirk. As while 13 is talking, Izuku sees a portal in the corner of his eye. As Izuku says, "Hey Aizawa, it seems we have company." As Aizawa sees villains coming out. As Aizawa says, "Hey 13, call the other heroes in UA immediately." As she starts creating her black holes. As wait for a second, I got something in my. So Aizawa tells Ida to start running, as he also says to call the other teachers in UA. As Ida says, "Alright, sir." as he starts opening the door, as he starts running out of there, as he starts going to to UA. So while while um Aizawa's basically fighting some other villains, Izuku and the rest of his other classmates are saying, "What we're supposed to do? We're just kids." Izuku says, "Ugh, kids, have you seen what we usually do?" As he says, "Oh, right." As they start seeing, down at their feet, they see, some sort of like black abyss. As they start falling into it, as Izuku says, "Damn it, it's a portal," as they transfer somewhere else. Izuku sees Melissa and, well, Jiro right next to him. As Jiro says, "Where are we?" Izuku says, "Seems to be some sort of, area for, quirk users that use, well, water or ice or something. Or people that have, quirks that allow them to go into water, or fish or amphibian type quirks." As Melissa says, "Hmm, what a great observer." Izuku says, "Oh, whatever." As they see several villains coming out of the water, and they start climbing over they start climbing the ship. As they say, "I'll take the girls." As one of them says, "Hell yes, I'm gonna tear apart that boy over there." As Izuku says, "Damn it." As Izuku says, "Hey Melissa, you have a technomancer quirk, right?" As she says, "Yeah." As Izuku says, "Try and make some sort of like glider or something." As she says, okay." So she starts tearing apart the ship. As she starts using her technomancer quirk to basically create some sort of like glider. Izuku starts defending Melissa and Jiro. Wait for a second. So Izuku starts creating his black whip, but the black whip has a sharper end and is also white with gray veins. Izuku says, "Time for you to pay for your insolence." Izuku starts using it like a whip, as it basically causes some of the villains to bleed. As they say, "What the hell? I thought you were on our side." Izuku says, "You really think that I'm a villain?" What a joke. As Izuku starts, his arms start getting engulfed in this, well, almost like this meaty substance, as it opens up to create, giant, almost mouths, as they start breathing out fire. Izuku says, "Next time, if you dare hurt my friends, I will kill you." As the villains start running away, Izuku says, "So, you have your glider?" And she says, "Yeah." Izuku says, "Good." As Izuku starts sprouting out, black, black, um, black wings, but they have some resemblance to, to the Carnage symbiote, a little bit. It basically has red veins, but the wings are color black. As Izuku says, "Hey, Jiro." As she says, "Well, right, you're gonna be riding with me." As she says, "Oh, okay." As Izuku says, "Hey, Melissa, use that glider of yours." As she says, "Oh, okay." So Izuku starts flying them down to to the ground. As Melissa says, "Whoa, that actually worked." Izuku says, "Yeah." As Izuku basically looks over this almost like wall. As Izuku sees well it's not a pretty sight. Izuku sees this almost almost like this bird man creature, but it also has an exposed brain and is beating down on Aizawa. Izuku says, "Damn it, what's that creature doing? It doesn't seem human at all." As Melissa says, "Yeah." As Jiro says, it seems that it's being controlled." Izuku says, "So they must they must be the masterminds. As he's pointing at, well, the man with, well, several hands all around himself, and also wearing a, well, a hand on his face. And the other one seems to be some sort of, well, it looks like a butler or a, well, bartender, but his head looks like it's just black fire to them. But Izuku says, looks like mist. As she says, makes sense, I guess. It also has, well, yellow eyes. Izuku says, hmm, I'll be going and fighting them. As Melissa says, no, that would be dangerous. That would be just be suicide. Izuku says, I don't give a fuck. So, Izuku steps out as Izuku says, hey, you, handyman. As, well, Shigaraki says, what did you say? As he sees Izuku, as he says, what are you doing? Are you supposed to, well, kill all these heroes? Izuku says, I'm not a villain. As Konigiri says, well, it seems to be, well, one of the heroes. As Shigaraki says, are you serious? Is that really supposed to be a hero? It's more like a bringer of fear than anything else. As Izuku says, what did you say, you damn handjob? As Izuku starts transforming a little bit into more, well, just imagine, well, Venom from the original comics, like this really buff creature, but except it's the, well, the Sanguinus symbiote. As Izuku says, what did you say? I'm gonna tear you to your nothing but a stupid piece of art. God, that you piece of shit. As he says, Nomu, destroy him. Wait for a second. So, the Nomu starts charging in at Izuku. Izuku just punches it back. Izuku says, I'm going to burn you alive. As Izuku starts spewing out his green fire, as it starts burning the Nomu a little bit. As the Nomu starts screaming in pain, Izuku says, how pathetic. As Izuku basically grabs it by the neck and basically just tears it apart. Like, well, well, just imagine something really, really, really graphic. So, yeah, Izuku just tears it apart, including the brain, which destroys the Nomu instantly. As Shigaraki says, you cheater, you cheater, you cheater! That was supposed to kill All Might! Izuku says, really? Then, how about I kill you then? As Izuku basically grabs both Shigaraki's arms, as Izuku just rips him in half, basically killing him as Konigiri disappears. Izuku says, damn it! As Izuku basically turns back to normal as Izuku faints. So, when Izuku wakes up, he's in, well, DUA infirmary as he sees, well, Melissa and Jiro right beside him. As Melissa says, Izuku, you're alive! Izuku says, yeah, I am. Ugh, damn it. As she says, damn it, why? As Izuku says, I let that other villain escape. As Jiro says, don't worry. Besides, you're safe. Izuku says, whatever. So, Izuku gets out of his, well, bed. Izuku says, so what time is it? As they say, well, it's after school. Izuku says, I'll be going back home. As they say, um, can we just, well, chaperone you there? Izuku says, fine. As Izuku looks in the mirror As Izuku says, what happened to my face? As they say, oh yeah, that. Well, apparently that Nomu thing apparently just sliced well a part of your face. So now you have a scar. Izuku says, hmm, not bad. I kinda look cool, I guess. As they say, alright, Mr. Edgelord. Izuku says, ah, whatever. Guess I'll be going home now. So, Jiro and Melissa starts bringing Izuku home. As they leave, as Izuku's all alone, Izuku basically makes dinner as he goes to sleep. So yeah, so I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.